by my channel, Chef Stansberry, powered by Flavorface Food, Fun, and Travel. I've got a real special episode for you today. One of my favorite chain restaurants, I'm not a big chain restaurant guy, let's get that out of the way, but one of my favorite chain restaurants is P.F. Chang's. I love the way they do things, I love their spin on American Chinese food, and it's a huge corporation. They're from Argentina to the United Kingdom, over 300 stores worldwide. So today we're going to replicate and or duplicate the P.F. Chang's Chinese BBQ Spareribs. Alright, so let's go over the ingredients for our P.F. Chang duplicated Chinese BBQ Spareribs. We're going to start off with just some regular sesame seeds. I got these in my little really cool cast iron skillet. We're going to toast these off and it's going to be our garnish for our Chinese BBQ Spareribs when we finish. I've got 16 ounces or a pint of chicken stock. I've got some oil just for searing the ribs. I've got some dark soy sauce, which is just like soy sauce, but a little thicker and just a little sweeter. I've got some palm sugar. It's a natural sugar that comes from Southeast Asia. I have some honey, some fresh honey, 4 ounces or a half cup of ketchup, some rice wine vinegar, 4 ounces. I've got some scallion for garnish. I've got some hoisin sauce, hoisin, which is Chinese barbecue sauce, okay? This is what they use in their barbecue. I've got some minced garlic. I've got some fresh ginger that I've cut off of a fresh ginger bulb just to save time. I've already got it cut. I've got some 5-spice powder. And I've got some garlic salt and a beautiful slab of spare ribs. Now spare ribs are a little, really you can use any kind of rib you want for this. You can use a baby back rib, you can use a boneless country style rib. I like the spare ribs because they're a little thicker and a little meatier. And a fun fact is, after the butchers cut all the bacon off of the hog, they were left over with this spare piece of meat with ribs from under the cage of the belly, from the pork belly, so they called it spare ribs because it was a spare piece of meat left over from cutting the bacon. All right, so that's a fun tip. So let's get everything seasoned. We're gonna get these ribs cut, we're gonna get them seasoned, we're gonna get them seared, we're gonna mix our sauce, and we're gonna braise these bad boys for about 1.5 hours, 2 hours. You're not gonna believe this dish. Check it out. All right, so let's cut and season our spare ribs. We've got a beautiful rack here that I've rinsed off and got all clean. Just gonna take this, just gonna grab our knife here. Just gonna find, trim these just a little bit. Just get that off there so we can just get the smooth rib. Okay, just look right in between each rib, come down, and just curve a little bit right at the end. So we've got our spare ribs all cut, right? And now we're gonna season them. I like to use whole peppercorn. I don't know, it just brings up a more bright flavor, and you can tell that it hasn't been sitting around. The difference between, I don't know, pre-ground pepper and whole peppercorns are night and day. So I'm gonna just throw a few of these in a coffee grinder. Like I said, the difference between the fresh cracked black pepper and pepper that's been sitting around for a while is just unbelievable, the difference. But if you can't find it, you know, just use that coarse ground black pepper that you see in the store with the grinder. Just use that, it'll do just as well. All right, so we got our pepper all ground. I'm just gonna put a little in my palm here and just get a little bit on my ribs. I'm a pepper guy, so I'm gonna go a little heavy. Okay. Garlic salt too as well. And the Chinese 5-spice powder. Just make sure everything's well coated because what we're trying to do is build layers of flavor. Okay, so when we start braising, you'll get a little bit of flavor in every single bite and every single morsel. So make sure that they're well coated. Front, back, top, bottom, side, bone, all the way around, okay? And you know, you can feel free to do this the night before and let it sit over the night. That's just gonna have a deeper depth of flavor, okay? And make sure that you can smell the aroma. Just make sure it's well coated. I like that. And now it's time to sear. I'm just gonna drop these in. Drop them fat side down. Get that sear going. Okay, our ribs are just searing away. Let's check them out. Look at that. Look at that brown haze. Look at that. That nice caramelization on that meat. So yeah, be sure to brown every side. The sides, the top, the bottom. You want to brown all sides of your ribs, okay? Because if not, they'll just come out looking like boiled ribs. You won't have that crust, you won't have that bite, you won't have that texture you're looking for in a Chinese barbecue spare rib. I love the sizzle, by the way. Well, that sizzle makes you know you're cooking, right? Yeah. Cooking with Chef Stansberry. Powered by Flavor Face, Food, Fun, and Travel. Now, please take a minute to hit that like button, and take a minute to hit that subscribe button. And on the lower right hand, that little bell, hit that bell, and you'll get something every time I post. Because we're going to post and we're going to eat together, you and I, okay? So I got the top, I got the bottom. Now I'm going to hit the sides real quick. Hit the sides, look at that sizzle. Oh, sizzle. Yeah, get all those sides. Golden brown. It's really going to elevate your dish when it comes out the oven and when you plate it up and they see that golden brown. So we've got our spare ribs all seared, all right? Seared on all edges. So you just see the brown and the little crunchy exterior. We call that a face. Nice mahogany brown is what you're looking for. And again, make sure you brown all sides, the underneath, the top, the sides. Now, we're gonna take this same pot that we seared those in, and we're gonna release our garlic and our ginger. Okay, we're gonna take about a heaping tablespoon of minced garlic and a heaping tablespoon of fresh minced ginger, okay? So we're gonna just release that. We're calling that release the flavors. We're using the leftover heat from our searing just to release the aromatics and the flavor. Now you have to go quick with this. You don't want to burn this at all because burnt garlic is not good. It really becomes bitter. So keep your eyes and your nose going and just release all those flavors and you'll be able to smell it release. And make sure you watch the colors as it brown. Just don't let it get toward the black side. Okay, just release it. I'd probably say about 60 to 120 seconds, 2 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes. And then you'll notice everything that's stuck to the bottom of the pan from searing our ribs. You would think you would throw that away, but we're not going to throw that away. After we release all our garlic and our ginger, we're going to grab our chicken stock and we're going to sort of deglaze the pan. We're going to bring all that fond and all those little brown bits off the bottom of that pan, okay, with our chicken stock. And let that kind of marry with our garlic and our ginger, okay? And then meanwhile, we'll just leave this set to the side and we'll start working on our barbecue sauce. I've added a half cup of hoisin sauce and a half cup of honey to our sauce. We're gonna follow that up with a half cup of ketchup. Okay, this is your standard ketchup there. And then we have our mirin, our rice wine vinegar, another half a cup, 4 ounces. 2 ounces of sweet soy. 2 ounces of teriyaki, 2 ounces of oyster sauce. Okay, we're gonna get that all in there. We're just gonna mix that all in there together. So we've got our sauce all together. We have our half cup of hoisin sauce, our half cup of ketchup, our half cup of honey, our half cup of mirin, our rice wine vinegar, our 2 ounces of sweet soy sauce, our 2 ounces of teriyaki, and our 2 ounces of oyster sauce, and our ketchup, okay, to all make our beautiful glaze. Now, remember the palm sugar? We're gonna take that palm sugar and we're gonna add that to our chicken stock that we deglazed our pan with. And we're just gonna whisk that a little bit to sort of let that dissolve, okay? We're gonna let that palm sugar dissolve within that chicken stock. Okay, so here we have our chicken stock, our ginger, our garlic that's been released. All the brown bits from searing our spare ribs is coming off the bottom, and our palm sugar, okay, to help us with our glaze. We're just gonna pour this. This is gonna be our braising liquid. So we're just gonna pour that right over our ribs. It's gonna be our beautiful braising liquid. And now, remember the ketchup, the honey, the mirin, the hoisin, the oyster sauce, the sweet soy sauce, the teriyaki sauce. That's all in one. You're gonna pour that over the ribs. Get that all in there. Get my little spatula. Gonna get that all in there. Okay. Now we're just gonna cover these real quick. We're gonna cover these with saran wrap. Really want to try to get them airtight, so all these flavors can play around with each other, marry each other, and do their little dance. Okay, airtight there. Gonna grab this foil, cover these bad boys. Make sure they're airtight, and make sure you got a tight seal all the way around, because if that does bubble over, you got plenty of sugar and things that will burn that bottom of that oven, and I'm sure your smoke alarm will go off and your oven will be hell to clean. So we're gonna just make sure that's really seared just in case it starts bubbling over. So we're gonna pop these in the oven, okay? And we're gonna let this go for about 1.5 to 2 hours. So we're gonna pop these right in. And I'll see you in a minute for the Chinese barbecue spare ribs. Now we're gonna toast our sesame seeds for our sesame seed garnish for our Chinese barbecue spare ribs. I just got my little cute cast iron skillet, and I just have some regular sesame seeds in here. Really simple. We're just gonna pop that in a 325-degree oven and just kind of let it go. We'll stir it in between to make sure that they're browned evenly. We're just gonna toast these regular blonde sesame seeds. They're blonde as we began, and we're gonna toast it, and they're gonna get this brown flavor, and they're gonna really bring out this aroma of the sesame seed and add more crunch as well. So we're just gonna pop these in the oven. Now we're gonna check on those sesame seeds. We just toasted them off. We're gonna grab those out the oven. And there we go. Just got some nice toasted sesame seeds, nice and brown, really aromatic. A lot of crunch. It's gonna garnish our Chinese barbecue spare ribs and make them look A1. All right, it's been 1.5 hours. Let's see what these Chinese barbecue spare ribs look like. I'm so excited. Let's go in real quick. Ooh, thank goodness for my pot holder. All right, let's see. We're gonna uncover these guys. They've been braising for about 1.5 hours. We're gonna get that all off of there. And it's time to plate Chinese barbecue spare ribs. Check these things out, wow. Plate, look at that. Look how succulent those things are. Look at that mahogany glaze. Now we're gonna take our little ladle, right? Sauce these guys up. Ooh, look at all that ginger. Remember our toasted sesame seeds that we did earlier? All right, look at that. Look at that contrast, look at that color, look at that. What about that smell? The finale of this masterpiece. The Chinese barbecue spare ribs. Look at those glisten. I just put it over a bed of white rice, laid a little of that sauce over the top. Look at that glisten, look at that glaze, look at those toasted sesame seeds, adding that texture, that crunch, and that flavor. And look at those green scallions that add that contrast and all that scallion taste. Oh man, the garlic, the ginger, the sweet soy. the mirin, the honey, the ketchup, all married together to bring this perfect dish, Chinese barbecue spare ribs. Now please hit that subscribe button, please hit that like button, and that little bell on the right side, that notification button, smash that one time for me. You'll get a notification every time I post. I cook with you and we eat. Chef Stansberry, powered by Flavor Face, food, fun, and travel.